Thank you for joining us again. This is Paul Wilson.
And Chris Hemke.
And Ryan Gelinas.
And you're listening to the Diesel Performance Podcast. Ryan, you also play around on the Diesel Podcast from time to time.
I do, yeah. So the guy who runs the Diesel Podcast is Patrick, and he was actually one of my old sales guys. And he got to a point with ATS that he wanted to go out and do a little retail business and things like that. And now he's kind of started shifting focus into more of kind of like a marketing diesel culture kind of thing. And but yeah, he's got a little podcast as well. I think we've been chatting back and forth about hoping to have you guys on there and kind of have a podcast gangbang. I think is what they call that.
I love gangbangs.
I like that Chris already came out as the color guy. Like this is the play-by-play, right? The Mike Tirico or whatever, and you're John Gruden or whatever's back there just says obvious sexually slanted things, which is good. I enjoy that.
We need that balance in this.
You do.
We need
yin and yang, right?
What you don't know is
Sexually
before
slanted.
you got into the podcast game, we already had a podcast gangbang with Patrick.
Oh.
So we've been there.
And
and
I
done
wasn't
that.
even invited?
No,
That's
you weren't even a
ridiculous.
thought.
That's ridiculous.
Like
I think Patrick
full-blown
just...
mics.
Big black Mike. I think Patrick is just trying to take advantage of me because I travel so much and I know a lot of people. And he's like, hey, you know anybody over at Fleece? I sure would like to talk about that new intake pump. I'm like, yeah, I know the owners, man. I can totally do that. And I do not get reimbursed at all. I get reimbursed with friendship, and that's about it. So
That's an expensive friendship.
That's a very
$10.99 them
expensive
at the end of the year.
that's right. Here's your bill, fella.
How do you want to work this?
I love it. Well, you are out at the ATS DDP booth?
Yes. So me and my business partner, Ryan Houston, who used to work for Soda Off-Road for years, have partnered up with kind of like a brand management group. And so we represent Dynamite Diesel and ATS separately. We go do in-house dealer trainings, wholesale trainings, work the trade shows for them, and pretty much that's it. But yeah, so we're all packed into the booth over there trying to sling injectors and transmissions and turbos and exhaust manifolds and all that good stuff.
I like how you wrap it up and say that's just about it, but you just before we started recording here, you gave us a quick rundown of your schedule over the next couple of weeks.
Oh, geez, yeah.
So you're a kind of busy guy from time to time.
Fairly, yeah. Last year I was on the road 215 days. So, yeah, I have a wife and two kids, so I'm told. But, yeah.
They were told they have a father, too.
Exactly. Someone keeps cutting the grass, and they do a great job. So. I may be paying for it in some way, but it's not my bank account.
That's awesome. Okay, so you're here at the show, Ryan. How do you think UCC 2018 is different than 2017?
Well, the trucks are a lot faster this year. Everybody's playing in the eights. Like, don't even show up if you don't have an 8-second truck almost. You know what I mean?
agree.
And 10-second diesels were like a big deal a couple years ago.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And but as far as this, the warmth, I'm going to go with that. And to be the first thing I noticed,
weather's
like
so much
it was
better.
so terrible. I'm glad they moved it a month forward. It seems like the booth game feels kind of the same, and crowd flow is very good. The stands are packed, people are jazzed. But Indy's been like flooded and rained and cold for like ever. This is like the first time the weather broke. So I think the crowd draw is going to be bananas today and tomorrow.
Yeah.
Just because people are ready to get out of the house, get sunburnt or whatever they want to do, and
We're
watch
all
the diesel
torched
truck
already, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has been pretty wild. It's funny you say something about the drag strip because as we looked through the stats from last year, it's 10, 11, 12 seconds,
Yeah.
pretty much across the board. I mean, we had a few standout breakout performances.
Right,
But
right.
this year, it's the standard.
Right, yeah.
If you're not there, you're not going to make it.
Top 10 was all eights,
And
it's
7.
like, that's nuts.
Yeah.
And we had a
Levon,
7,
yeah.
exactly. So it's just crazy. And if you look at, so Levon clicked off that 788. Congrats to him. If you look at his time slip, his 8th mile time was a 5.1. He's clicked off a 4.99.
Right.
So, I mean, he's got that truck mostly set up to do 8th mile stuff. It could have gone faster, and it's only started at 7.99. That thing was hauling it back halved like nobody's business. If he had clicked off his 4.99 and backed half like that, you may have seen a 190 mile an hour pass.
Yeah, it is getting wild
was
in this
aggressive.
industry, and seeing where it's going to go from here. Is next year, are we going to see them cutting even lower? Are these guys going to keep pushing, or are we going to find those limits?
If they can get the chassis certs where they need to be, I mean, I think we've already found, the bottom of the can as far as that's concerned. These guys have pushed it to the nth degree, and it's like, we can't go any faster, right?
Yeah.
Dynos, we're spinning on the rollers now. And, it's just one of those things that, I mean, obviously can't really associate or equate the sled pulling thing, but certainly in the drag racing world, we've kind of hit the end. So, once the safety equipment gets where it needs to be, I'm sure they'll figure out the end of that hallway too.
Yeah. Somebody's going to push it before the safety equipment too,
for
right?
sure. Yeah.
We also witnessed a fairly heavy crew cab long bed run
Jags.
basically mid-eights.
Yeah, good for Josh. Absolutely.
And, industrial as well. So it's just like
right. You got
these
5,000
big-
to 6,000 pound trucks
going eights. You have Levon going, high sevens. Like, is that going to be a mid seven? Like a year or two from now?
Right.
Well, I mean, I guess really also, how do you think these guys are going to shake down on the dyno? We saw the dyno eat up a lot of trucks last year.
Yeah.
Well, who's going to make it through today to say that, okay, you got the 8, who in that top 10 is in the 8s and is going to make it off the dyno in one piece?
It's how far you want to push your truck, man. You know what I mean? Like it's up to the send it, screw it. Like I put all my eggs in this basket. Yeah. We're going to go for it. Because, UCC, for the listeners that aren't here and don't understand the format, like you can hit the drag strip as many times as you want. You're not bracket racing. Like you don't get eliminated. You just got to click off a good pass. Yep. It's just, pulls is 2 pulls, but how hard do you want to push the truck? Jesse Warren did a complete engine swap last night in the pits. I went and talked to Mikey, one of his techs, on the way up here, and he's like, "Don't even talk to me, man." So what happened is, like, we hydrolocked the motor, blah blah blah. We did a complete engine rebuild last night. I'm like, whoa. Yeah. But they're willing to scatter parts. Screw it. Like,
that's it.
All the eggs are in this basket.
There's a couple camps like that right now.
Yeah.
Merchant, same thing.
Merchant,
here till literally 10 to 9 last night, making a pass. Truck had issues. They were pulling the motor.
Yeah.
Window the block.
Well, it's funny too, because I just messaged over to Ryan Pfaff, who had a great day on the dyno yesterday. Came in number 1, number 2,
number 1,800 and change.
And he told me he's swapping a cam right now. Couldn't come up and do an interview this morning.
He came by the booth asking if I had rocker bolts. One split in half. I was like,
on.
So I have this display motor. There could be a bolt under there. I don't know. Sure enough, the ATS guys probably made it as heavy as possible just so my back goes out sooner. But so there's probably bolts and cams in there, and he's more than welcome to it. So it seems like V-bands and boots slowly get stolen off my display motors as the year goes by.
Or just donate it right off of your truck.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I got a 6.7. Let's do this.
Yeah.
I'll help you out, man. I got you.
It's funny you say that too, because I saw the guys from the Truck Source Diesel Camp over at WC Fab looking for a filter this morning.
Yeah,
and like we see this every year at the UCC. It's
it is what it is, man.
One bolt. And what's funny is we were interviewing competitors and qualifiers. Guys are telling us we brought 2 transmissions, we got 2 engines in the truck. We got 5 sets of tires. But that one bolt, that one clamp.
Oh, I know.
You can't let that keep you
Murphy's
off the
Law,
track.
man. It's gonna be the one dumb thing you forgot to bring.
For sure.
No,
absolutely.
Cool, man. Well, Ryan, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Any shout-outs you want to give?
I mean, just the 2 brands I represent. We got a lot of competitors here. Dynamite has 18 trucks with our injectors in there, and we've got 9 trucks with ATS parts participating. So all the racers that are rocking our stuff, thank you so much, and big shout out to Lenny and Clint, owners of Dynamite and ATS, for giving me and my business partner an opportunity to come out here and talk to consumers and watch a great event.
Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much, guys. This has been Paul Wilson
And Chris Hemke.
Ryan Gelinas.
Thanks for listening.